City, home of the world's most spectacular events, is proud to host another outstanding event. It's the Big Apple Balloonfest. Events which spanned 4 days brought thousands of spectators, with millions more viewers throughout the country watching on television. New York Central Park, the most celebrated park in the world, was the hub of festival activities and provided the perfect launch site for the giant hot air balloons. The balloons, emblazoned with huge corporate banners, brought excitement to the city, to the corporate sponsors, to the festival goers, and to the television public. Although the balloons stole the show, New York's newest annual event was more than just balloons. The general public had plenty of opportunities to visit sponsor tents during and between inflations. Product displays and samplings kept sponsors in the eyes of the general public, city dignitaries, and celebrities. Presenting sponsor, WCBS FM Radio, kept the excitement going with live music and entertainment, hosted by their cousin Brucey Morrow. With the landmark skyline as its backdrop, pilots and their crews prepared for a twilight balloon glow on Friday and Saturday. Moms, dads, kids, sponsors, and the media were glued to the view as the pilots teased the public with huge blasts of flames lighting up their gigantic balloons against the majestic landmark skyline of New York City.
It does represent a challenge because it's 3 major airports, but the FAA has everything coordinated, the city has everything coordinated. Yeah. It's going to be a fun time, and we hope a lot of people come out and watch us today because it's going to be a beautiful sight.
Can you steer that thing?
Oh, no, God steers it. Wherever the winds go, that's where you go.
So God?
Central Park is, in some ways, the center of the city. It's one of the greatest public venues on the East Coast. It has the space, it has the proximity for the public, it has an incredible skyline view behind us. The people who have seen it, I mean, you can see the faces in the crowd. Kids are ecstatic, people love this. They don't get a chance to see it. If you live in Syracuse or Albuquerque where there are festivals, you can see balloons right out your window. Here in the Parks Department, we try and bring things to New York that people don't get a chance to see.
One of his dreams was to bring a balloon festival into New York City, the Big Apple. And I said, well, let's make that come true.
There is no history of this event. It's the first annual, first ever, and it's something that we wanted to do to celebrate the 200th anniversary of aviation here in America. 1793 to 1993, and New York got behind us and supported us, so it's the first annual Big Apple Balloon Fest out of Central Park in New York City. First time it's ever been done.
Can you tell me if there are any special concerns about doing a balloon festival in Central Park?
Absolutely. There's plenty of special concerns. The biggest is that you're in the busiest airport traffic sector of the world. You've got Kennedy, LaGuardia, Newark, and Teterboro. Secondly, you got the biggest city in the world, so you have a lot of layers of permissions and permits and waivers and government that you have to go through.
In this particular instance, these pilots of these balloons are very experienced pilots. They're not rookie pilots by any means, and we've charted out a pretty thorough course for them to participate in terms of the direction of flight. So we've orchestrated how high they can go, and we'll move the air carriers out of the way if we have to, and we'll adjust the arrival and departure runways at LaGuardia Airport and Teterboro in order to make it a safe and enjoyable event for everybody concerned.
Well, we're professionals. Everyone that was invited here from all over the world, we have balloonists here to fly, and they're all very professional, and they know what they're doing.
We had to work with all the various city agencies, New York Aviation, Police Aviation, of course, Federal Aeronautics, and many of the airports in the area all had to cooperate to put this thing together.
These are some of the most heavily trafficked skies in the country, the New York metropolitan area, as you might expect. We've orchestrated a traffic management initiative to make sure that the traffic flows into and out of the major metropolitan airports are not going to be adversely affected by this particular event, one way or the other. They're not hard to miss in the sky, even from a pilot's perspective, but we just don't want to get them in the way. So we've orchestrated all that, and it should go off without a hitch.
I've been involved in ballooning for about 27 years, and we're mostly involved in the production of ballooning events. We started the first World Hot Air Balloon Championships in Albuquerque in 1973, the Kentucky Derby Festival balloon races, the Preakness Festival balloon races in Baltimore, the Atlanta Dogwood Festival in Atlanta, the Philadelphia Freedom Festival. We've done a lot of different events throughout the United States. And this is a full-time business. It's a vocation rather than a leisure time hobby or avocation for most people.
Good morning, America. I'm Joan London.
And good morning to all of you. I'm Charles Gibson. It is Thursday, September 16th, and Spencer's left us for the morning.
Yeah, he's out in Central Park where preparations are underway for the Big Apple Balloon Fest.
Live from Central Park here in New York. You see that? Who's that? Who's your buddy?
Hey, Mickey.
Yeah.
Good morning there. Cinderella.
It's going to be a tremendous balloon festival, Central Park, that really is going to happen tonight. Balloons are going to be huge. Some of them as big as 14 stories tall. So they're out there getting some of these balloons pumped up.
The Big Apple Balloon Fest generated unprecedented media for a first-time event. Documented national and local television news viewer impressions alone exceeded 60 million, with a value in excess of $500,000.
This is News for New York, live at 5.
This is Channel 2 News.
More than a dozen hot air balloons lighted up the darkness like Japanese lanterns illuminating from within by the propane burners.
This is Channel 9 News Weekend.
You think there's a lot of hot air in New York? Well, today there was enough to fill the Great Lawn in Central Park.
Let's go to Spencer Christian in Central Park. Spencer?
Yes, Catherine, here in Central Park, where this weekend the Big Apple Balloon Fest will get underway. And
hi there. Okay, I can't hear very well. We've got a flame right behind me filling up the Benaha balloon. But with me, a fellow who can talk a lot about balloons, a man who was the first to fly solo across the Atlantic in a balloon, Joe Kittinger. Joe, welcome aboard. What's happening this weekend here in Central Park?
Well, we're having a wonderful balloon race, hot air balloon race, right out of Central Park here on Saturday. And we're having a balloon glow this evening.
We have a celebrity pilot here. Who is that? Flip! Here we go. Flip! Here's Flip Wilson. Yes. You're going to be racing tomorrow, yeah? Yes, I'll be flying. All right. Flip Wilson's here, everybody. Bye-bye.
Now, this is a Kodak balloon. I'm here in on the Great Lawn in Central Park.
The Big Apple Balloon Fest is going on. It was yesterday, it's going on today.
Now, the highlight of the day, a 2-hour race of the elegant aircraft drifting off into the Manhattan skyline just before sunset. Take a look at that. Anyway, it's a great show.
Channel 7 KABC TV, Los Angeles.
New Yorkers turned out tonight to help kick off New York City's first ever Big Apple Balloon Fest. 15 huge balloons have gathered at Central Park for tomorrow's 2-hour balloon race. And the night before, it's traditional for those balloons to create a sky glow. That's an effect created when pilots light up their balloons by igniting their propane lifting heaters, huh? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, and to give you some idea of their size, one balloon shaped like a champagne cork is 100 feet high.
Hi, Cinderella, Mickey Mouse, Bob Carlton. Thank you for joining us here in New York. Balloon Fest 93 is happening tomorrow.
10 minutes until the hour. The question this morning is New York ready for its first ever Balloon Fest? Ready or not, here comes the first Big Apple Balloon Fest with 15 giant balloons preparing to race across Manhattan tomorrow.
Though, let's get the weather from Spencer. And Spencer's going to be getting kind of a bird's eye view today of all the clouds. He's out in Central Park. Spencer?
Right, Joan, we're getting ready for this weekend's first annual Big Apple Hot Air Balloon Fest. And I'm going to go up so high today, not only will I get a good view of the clouds, but I'll be able to look way ahead into the weekend forecast, which I hope to have for you very shortly. Charlie?
New York City hosts many of the world's most recognized and publicized events. We'd like to thank everyone responsible for the launch of another spectacular event in the life of the city. We now set our sights with great anticipation to the 1994 Big Apple Balloon Fest.